Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to the first class of Aspire batch, that is class 11 chemistry. This is VKM from Electron Chemistry Center. Hope you all are doing well. A very good evening to one and all. Right, we will start the session soon. So guys, as I told you, we will be starting some basic concepts of chemistry, but I'll go with the introduction session first. Right, we will be talking about introduction session today, and that introduction session is followed by major topic, that is basic principles in chemistry. I'll be explaining you about the importance of chemistry. Being a chemistry student, you are going to study chemistry for the next 2 years. You should understand the importance of chemistry first, right? So we will be learning about in this session we will be learning about introduction and importance of the chemistry. We are going to learn about importance of chemistry as well as introduction of chemistry, guys. Understood the point, guys? Right? So please click on the like button, and if you have any doubts, okay, post it in the live chat. I'll be responding. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. If you have already subscribed, please click on the bell icon for further videos and further notifications. Right? Now, so what is most of the people are thinking of it? Sir, what is chemistry? Right? What's the question? What is chemistry? Where is chemistry in and around us? Okay, you might heard about only physics is the only science, okay, branch of science, used to deal about the daily life incidents which are taking place in and around us. But even where chemistry is also, you can see in our daily life. Why chemistry? Why chemistry is needed? It's just a scoring subject? No, not at all, right? So not only as a scoring subject, but also as so many advantages of chemistry, right? So guys, when it comes to academics, okay, chemistry is the scoring subject. If you are a NEET aspirant, chemistry is the scoring subject after biology. If you are a JEE aspirant, chemistry is the scoring subject, first scoring subject compared to other two subjects like maths and physics, right? But here, what is the importance in our daily life? That is what we are going to talk about it. Okay. So you might be thinking of it, okay, what is chemistry? You might be thinking of it, what is chemistry? So just imagine, just imagine the universe. Just imagine the universe. Universe is there. Just imagine how universe is there. And so if you just see that the universe is totality of existence, right? Where we are existing, in the sense we can say we are in the universe. Yes or no? That includes planets, stars, galaxies, empty space, the smallest subatomic particles, and all matter and energy is existing in universe. As you know, we are we are also matter. We are also example of matter, right? All we are existing in the universe. Yes or no, guys? And so now if you observe it, what is a chemistry and what is how it is related to this universe, right? So if you go to the solar system, right? Shall we go to our solar system? Say yes or no. Post it in the live chat. Post it in the live chat. Shall we go to our solar system, right? So if you observe this, okay, this is the solar system, right? So this is the solar system and sun and other planets that you can see, right? Our solar system is consisting of sun, 8 planets, and their natural satellites such as our moon, right? And so let us come back to the earth. That is about universe. That is about the planetary system. Okay, let's come back to the earth, right? So if you come back to the earth, how earth is so beautiful. Earth is so beautiful, of course. Nature is always beautiful, right? So we came back to earth, and see why I am talking about all this universe and earth here. Are you excited to know about universe? Are you excited to know about the universe? Just say yes or no, right? See, universe is made of matter. Universe is made of matter, guys. Now what is matter? Now what is matter? So matter is nothing but any object that takes up enough space and has mass. If it has some quantity, if it takes up some space, that is nothing but matter. That is nothing but a matter, guys. And so if we just see that, what is the chemistry? Definition, okay, still. Definition still it is pending, right? So what is chemistry? The study of, chemistry is the study of composition, properties, structure and transformation, means one changing from one form to another form of matter. Okay, of matter is called simply chemistry. What it is called as, guys? Is called chemistry. Don't you guess, I said it already. Okay, is called chemistry. So chemistry simply it is said to be, it's a study of composition, properties, structure and transformation of matter. That means changing of one state to another state. Study of all these aspects about the matter is nothing but chemistry. Guys, chemistry is a branch of science which studies about matter. Which studies about matter, guys. Hope you understand. Matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, as well as gas. And these three states are interconvertible. Solid is converting into liquid, and liquid is converting into gas. So that is nothing but transformation. Changing from one form to another form is nothing but transformation. Understood? Now, if you see, where is chemistry? What is chemistry is over. Okay, now where is chemistry? We will be talking about where is chemistry. If you observe it there, so smell of flower, the smell of flower, the fragrance is chemistry, right? The fragrance is chemistry. In that also chemistry is there, right? So now, if you just see a flower, the colors are chemistry. Yeah, colors also because of the chemistry. Yeah, and see, touch of flower, right? The structure is chemistry. Touch of flower, the structure is also chemistry, right? Just what you are breathing, what you are breathing, that oxygen, right? The oxygen is present in the universe. It is also matter, right? So oxygen, so in the form of oxygen you breathe, you can see chemistry there also. Okay, you can see the chemistry there also. What you can guess it here? This is water. This is water what we drink, right? Without water, can you just imagine your life, right? So now, so what not? The water we use is chemistry. The chemical formula of water is H2, right? Is also chemical compound. It is also chemical compound, right, guys? So in the making of laptops, we will use chemistry. In the making of mobile phones, we will use chemistry. Don't worry. Okay, I have just displayed only iPhone, right? Other models of, okay, other models have not been displayed. Okay, just don't worry about it. Other models, right? And nanotubes. In the making of nanotubes also, we use chemistry. In the nanotechnology, okay, chemistry plays a key role, right? And so as you know, there is isotope. That is which isotope? Iodine. Iodine 123 isotope, which is used to treat thyroid. Thyroid is a disease, as you know, right? So the disease, okay, can be cured by the iodine 127 isotope. Iodine is a chemical element, right? Similarly, cobalt, okay, C60. Cobalt C60 isotope, which is used to treat cancer. Cobalt C60 isotope, which is used to treat cancer, guys, right? That is also chemical element. That is also chemical element. And all other substances around are also chemical substances. Most of the substances are also chemical substances only. Means chemistry is everywhere. Chemistry is everywhere. It is everywhere, guys. Of course, it is everywhere. How come it is everywhere, sir? How can you say that chemistry is everywhere? Just imagine, since you morning you woke up till you go to the bed, okay, somewhere else you will be relating to the chemistry. Can't you believe? Can't you believe? Okay, can't you believe me? Just see it. See it here. Here are some important areas where we use chemistry. Right? In paints. I am telling you few areas, not all the areas. Right? You have constructed a new building. You want to go, you want to celebrate housewarming. Right? So will you just enter into the bare building? No. Of course, okay, you will paint it. Paint the new building. It will give a new appearance. It will give a beauty to the building. The different pigments have different colors, and the colors are chemistry, right? So how, generally add color to the life of a building. Similarly, if you add chemistry to you, then it will add life to you. Chemistry is life, right? And then soaps. Just you woke up, just not only soaps, okay, just you woke up and you want to brush your teeth, right? So the bristles of the brush are made up of nylon. That's a polymer. There is chemistry. There also chemistry is there. There also chemistry, right? And then if you want to go for bath, you have to apply soap. Soap is Soap is manufactured by a process called saponification. That is also a chemical process. There is a chemistry, right? So whichever the soap, I have mentioned two brands here, Pierce as well as Santur, right? Sir, I use only Lux. You can, right? And mention it, not an issue, right? And then, so detergents, Tide, Rin, Wheel, Surf Excel. Okay, there are so many other brands. I don't want to mention all those brands here. There are so many other brands. Okay, these detergents which are used to wash your clothes when they're dirty. So all these detergents are also made up of chemicals. But they are also chemistry, right? Carbon fibers which are used in making elements. Sorry, which are used in making helmets, which is 3 times stronger than the steel. 3 times stronger than the steel. Understood? And photography, right? Chemistry develops the image. Chemistry develops the image. As you know, hypo solution can be used in the development of negative films. Development of negative films. Their hypo solutions are chemical. They are itself chemistry. Understood the point? Chemistry prints the picture, right? Chemistry prints the picture. The printing also can be possible because of chemistry. Chemistry makes the film. The film also can be, manufactured by the help of chemicals. So there also chemistry. The film also, right? So what not? Your beauty items, okay, fashions, beauty, looking good is down to the chemical science, right? All these are manufactured, all these are manufactured because of chemistry. Chemicals, 2-in-1 shampoos what you apply for head bath, you will apply shampoos, and those shampoos are also because of chemistry. I have not mentioned brands, Head and Shoulders, Pantene, whatever it may be there, okay. And then toothpaste, okay, whatever you are using, the toothpaste is also because of chemistry, guys. Just imagine, that is also because of chemistry, right? Colgate, Close Up, whatever it may be there will be definitely chemicals. Self-cleaning clothes, right? Self-cleaning clothes, and all this everywhere. And the most important thing, we are healthy. For suppose if you are unhealthy, we will take medicine. The preparation of all these medicines uses which science? Chemical science. Pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceuticals are manufactured because of the chemical sciences, guys. Understood the point, right? And then chemistry in agriculture. We are having food. Okay, we are having food whenever farmer harvests the crop, and the crop, if a farmer wants to get the good yield, then he will use fertilizers. Yes or no? So, and these fertilizers increases the fertility of the soil, improving the agricultural yield and improving the quality of the crop. You will get the maximum yield. There itself chemicals. We will be using the chemicals there. Yes or no? We will be using the chemicals, right? So, and if you observe it everywhere, hope you understand what is chemistry, why is chemistry, where is chemistry. Just imagine, since you woke up, till you go to the bed, you will use chemistry, guys. Until then, till you woke up, till you go to the bed, since morning, definitely you will use chemistry. Understood the point, right? And there are different branches of chemistry. As I mentioned in the introduction video also, there are different branches of chemistry, but in class 11 we will be talking about these 3 branches: organic, inorganic, physical chemistry. And another branches are biochemistry, analytical chemistry. There are so many branches like pharmaceutical chemistry, medicinal chemistry, right? Bioinorganic chemistry, okay, bioinorganic chemistry. So there are so many branches, basic, these are the branches I am giving it. These are the branches I am giving it. Okay. Organic chemistry, it deals about hydrocarbons. Chemistry of compounds containing hydrocarbons. It just talk about hydrocarbons, as you have learned in class 10 also, right? So, and all these somewhere else, okay, because of organic compounds only. All these are because of organic compounds. And inorganic chemistry, chemistry of compounds other than hydrocarbons. Other than hydrocarbons, okay, if any compounds we will discuss, that will be discussed under which branch, guys? Inorganic chemistry. That will be discussed under which branch? Inorganic chemistry. Like elements, sodium chloride, this is inorganic. H2SO4, which is used in automobile batteries, your bike batteries. Okay, HCl, right? HCl, just wait. H2O, right? HCl, H2O also, right? All these are inorganic compounds. These are not organic compounds, guys, right? All we will study in inorganic chemistry. All we will study in inorganic chemistry. Next, we will talk about physical chemistry. Physical chemistry deals with physical properties of the substances, like solid state, gaseous state, liquid state, about states of matter, about properties, physical properties of the substances. Will be studying under physical chemistry, solid, liquid, and gas. Understood the point, guys? As well as chemical composition also will be discussed. Under this physical chemistry, we will be talking about the chemical composition, like water is made up of hydrogen as well as oxygen. That chemical composition also we will be talking about it. Understood the point, guys? Is it clear? So, as well as transformation, means solid to liquid, liquid to gas, right? So, this transformation also will be studied. This transformation also will be studied under physical chemistry, like how solid is changing into liquid, how liquid is changing into gas, right? So, gas can be changing into liquid, liquid can be changing into solid. Reverse, okay, is also possible. This transformation also will be discussed under chemistry, guys. It is also physical chemistry. That is physical chemistry, right? So, biochemistry part, it's an application. Chemistry of a biological system. Chemistry of a biological system. So, a biological system, how it is related to chemistry, can be discussed under biochemistry. Can be discussed under biochemistry, guys. Right? Analytical chemistry, name indicates very clearly, analysis. Qualitative and quantitative analysis of chemical composition. So, qualitative and quantitative analysis also will be discussing in class 11, as I mentioned in the syllabus also, right? So, qualitative in the sense, if I give you a compound is made up of which elements? That elements, okay, you can find it out with the help of an analysis called as qualitative analysis. Quantitative, amount of those elements in the compound also can be find it out with the help of quantitative analysis. Both this qualitative and quantitative analysis will be discussed under analytical chemistry, right? So the measurements, all these, okay, quantitative measurements and qualitative measurements will be discussed over here. Hope you understand the point, guys. Is it clear for you? See the importance of chemistry. Everywhere, okay, we will be, interrelated with the chemistry, but unknowingly we will be interrelated with the chemistry, right? So this is the importance of chemistry. Just now I have told you. This is just importance of chemistry. Now we will be moving on to the major part. Hope you understand the point, guys. Is it clear? Right. Let's move on to the major part. See, guys, here we will be talking about our chapter, that is basic concepts of chemistry. Right? It is our first chapter, class 11, first chapter, guys. What is that? Basic concepts of chemistry, guys. Let's see that. I'll be not talking about, stoichiometry now. It will take time, guys. Basic concepts of chemistry involves two subchapters: mole concept as well as stoichiometry. Before mole concept, this is introduction. Before mole concept, this is introduction. All this part is introduction only. So far, whatever we are going to discuss, that is introduction only. Okay, and then mole concept, and then stoichiometry. Right? As we know, just now I have told you, chemistry is study of matter. Matter is nothing but anything which has mass and occupies space. Which has mass and occupies space is called matter. And that matter can be divided into two categories. One is pure substances, another one is impure substances. Pure substances, impure substances. Impure substances are called as mixtures. Impure substances are called as mixtures, guys. And those mixtures are classified into two types. One is homogeneous, another one is heterogeneous. Pure substances are once again classified into two types. One is elements and second one is compounds, guys. Right? So it is a simple classification can be given for matter. Matter can be classified into mixtures, pure substances. Pure as well as impure, you can say. Mixtures are of two types, homogeneous, heterogeneous. Pure substances are of two types, elements and compounds, guys. Hope you understand. Let's talk about matter. As you know, matter is anything. Anything, okay, human body is a matter. It's a, why? Because it has mass and occupies some space. Anything which has mass and occupies some space is nothing but matter. Got the point, guys? Right? So there is an example, okay, it is an example of a matter, some solution we have taken in a beaker, right? So now that matter has been classified into how many types? Two types. Matter has been classified into how many types, guys? Two types. So now, so those two types, if you observe it, one type is, pure and another type is impure. So matter is pure, another type is impure. Impure substances are nothing but mixtures. Impure substances are nothing but mixtures. These mixtures will have variable composition. There is no fixed composition. The composition is not fixed. No fixed composition. In another way, you can write it as a no fixed composition, variable composition, right? So components retain their characteristic properties. Properties of the components will be same. Properties of the components will be same, right? So if you mix it also, like individual compounds, if you mix it also, after mixing they retain their properties. Properties won't change and may be separated into pure substances by physical methods. Like if I say salt plus water, it is a solution, right? Salt solution. It is an example of a mixture. It is an example of a mixture. But this mixture, if you want to separate into pure substances, you have mixed salt and water. You want to separate them into salt and water. What you will do? You will boil it and evaporation. Boiling followed by evaporation. When you do that evaporation, what will happen? Water gets evaporated and it leaves salt. That evaporated water, you can condense it and convert it into liquid form. That means by using that vaporization, you can get that salt back. That is nothing but you are separating into pure substances by physical methods. And mixtures of different composition may have widely different properties. Widely different properties. They have different properties used to be. Okay. And so if you see, air is an example of a mixture. Milk is an example of a mixture. Gasoline is an example of a mixture. Gasoline is nothing but petrol, guys. Petrol is a mixture of hydrocarbons. Petrol is a mixture of hydrocarbons, right? Now let's talk about pure substances, right? As you know, matter can be classified into two types, impure and pure. About mixtures we have discussed. Now we are going to talk about pure substances. Pure substances will have fixed composition. Their composition will never change. It is fixed and cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Simple physical methods, you can't use it. For suppose if I say water, water is a pure substance. Why? Because it is made up of oxygen and hydrogen. And their mass ratio, if you see, 2 is to 16 or 1 is to 8. Means 1 part of hydrogen is there, 8 parts of oxygen. This is fixed composition. Right? This is a fixed composition. This will never vary. Understood? Cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Means if you want to separate the water into oxygen as well as into hydrogen, you cannot use any physical method. You have to use a chemical method. Electrolysis you have to do. If you do the electrolysis, then only water can be separated into hydrogen and oxygen. So Pure substances cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Understood, guys? Properties do not vary. The properties will not vary. Properties always remains same, right? Example, diamond, which is made up of carbon, single element, right? Pure substance, no other element will be there, only carbon, right? Graphite, only made up of only carbon, graphite that you can see in the image. Understood the point, guys? Glucose, it's a compound, right? So it is having a fixed composition, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Glucose formula C6H12O6. This composition will not vary. It is having a fixed composition. Understood the point, guys? So pure substances are furtherly classified into two types. One is elements and another one is compound. Understood the point, guys? So element consists of only one type of atom. Guys, atom is fundamental particle of matter. Atom is fundamental particle of matter. Basic particle of matter is atom. So any substance or any matter is made up of atoms. Understood the point? So our body is made up of atoms, right? So any matter is made up of atoms. That's why atom is the fundamental particle of the matter. So any element, if you consider, it consisting of only one type of atoms. If it is having only one type of atoms, then it is nothing but element. Cannot be decomposed further into simpler substances. Further division is not possible. For suppose sodium, sodium is element. It is made up of only sodium atoms, pure. Hydrogen, only hydrogen atoms. Understood? Copper, only copper atoms. Oxygen, only oxygen atoms. Silver, only silver atom. Understood the point, guys? So compounds. Compounds are also examples of the pure substances, right? So which are containing two or more elements in a definite proportion by mass. Mass, definite proportion by mass. Constituent elements do not retain their properties. What does it mean? Just observe it. Okay, there are properties, okay, there are compounds given. One is water, first compound, second compound is carbon dioxide, third compound is ammonia. About water I have explained. Now let's see carbon dioxide. What is the carbon atomic mass? 12. 12 is to oxygen atomic mass, 2 are there, 2 into 16, 32, right? So simplify it, 3 is to 8. Means it is the ratio or proportion by mass. Carbon dioxide, which is consisting of 3 parts of carbon, 8 parts of oxygen. This proportion by mass is always fixed in CO2 compound. It will never vary. Irrespective of irrespective of carbon dioxide, if you prepare from any source, the mass ratio will never change. That will be always 3 is to 8 only. Constituent elements do not retain their property. For suppose if I take hydrogen is gas, oxygen is gas, but when you mix them, water is a liquid. Means properties of the individual elements will not be there. Will not be there in the compound state. In H2O, right, hydrogen, oxygen cannot exist as gases. They are no more gases now. Now water is a liquid. So individual properties are not retained. Understood the point, guys? Right? Now let's see mixtures. So mixtures are impure substances. Mixtures are impure substances which are classified into two types: homogeneous mixtures, heterogeneous mixtures. Right? Homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Guys, homo stands for same. Homo stands for same. Hetero stands for different. Hetero stands for different. So far, whatever the concepts we have discussed, did you understand it or not? Say yes or no in the live chat. Say yes or no in the live chat, guys. Mixtures is impure substances. We have discussed about pure substances now. Elements and compounds are over. Right? Now homogeneous mixtures, heterogeneous mixtures. Homo means same. Composition will be same throughout. There is no change in the composition. Homogeneous mixtures have same composition throughout. Components are indistinguishable. We cannot distinguish them into separable components. Those are indistinguishable components, right? So let us say if I take salt and if I take water, salt is dissolved in water, that you can see here. It forms a salt solution. It forms salt solution, right? So it looks like a single component. You can't see the salt in the salt solution, right? You can, okay, you can observe it. If you just see it, it looks like a single component. So salt solution, the composition is uniform, uniformly distributed, means homogeneous in the sense, simply you can say one component, just wait, one component is uniformly distributed, uniformly distributed through another component, through another component. So one component, if it is uniformly distributed through another component, that is nothing but a homogeneous mixture. That is called as a homogeneous mixture, guys, right? So sugar solution also you can take it as an example of homogeneous mixture. Air is an example of homogeneous mixture. Mixture of gases will be there. Air is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, inert gases, right? So uniform composition will be there. Why? Uniform composition in the sense, all these components, if you mix it, looks like a single component, right? Heterogeneous mixture, if you observe it, do not have the same composition throughout. Just let me erase the ink, wait. Now you can see, do not have the same composition throughout. They do not have the same composition throughout, right? Components are distinguishable. You can, clearly observe the two layers. You can observe the layers clearly. For suppose if I take sand, dissolve it in water, sand plus water, sand settles at the bottom, right? Water will be there on the top. Water will be there on the top. You can clearly observe the two layers. Components are distinguishable. You can distinguish them into two components, right? Such type of mixtures are called as heterogeneous mixtures. Here one component is non-uniformly distributed through another component. Okay. For example, water plus kerosene. Why? Because water is insoluble in kerosene, right? You can see that it is heterogeneous mixture, right? All the pulses have been mixed, I think so. So if you observe it, properties of the matter and their measurement when we talk about it. See, we are going to talk about properties of the matter as well as their measurement. Every substance has unique or characteristic properties. Definitely every substance will have certain properties, and those properties, measurable properties of the matter, are expressed by specified units. Of course, when we have a certain properties, and those properties need to be measured with the help of units. So we will be discussing about properties of matter and their measurement now. Okay. Let's see that the properties of matter can be classified into how many types, guys? Two types. What are those? One is physical properties and second one is chemical properties. Physical properties are there, second one chemical properties are there. See, the properties which can be measured or observed without changing the identity, without changing the identity or the composition of the substance, are called physical properties. Physical properties means the properties which can be measured without changing the composition. For suppose, if I talk about it, water in the form of ice is changing into water, right? Ice form, solid ice is converting into liquid water. So that is nothing but, okay, melting or fusion. That melting point can be given it as 0 degrees Celsius, right? So here water is changing into, means ice is changing into liquid water, but throughout that if you observe it, mass remains constant. Mass won't change, right? Composition of the substance won't change, right? Without changing the composition, we will be studying about the melting point here. Melting point is an example of physical property. Composition will not change. When ice is converting into liquid water in the sense, right? So then ice formula is also water and liquid water formula is also water, that is H2O only. Ice also having formula H2O, liquid water also having the formula H2O. Its composition is not changing, right? So any property if you study or measure or observe without changing its composition, without changing the composition of substance, that property is called physical property. Chemical property in the sense, the properties which can be measured or observed, the properties which can be measured or observed by changing the composition, by changing the composition. There is a change in composition that you cannot see here, that I am writing here. Change in composition. If you measure or observed by change in composition, then those properties are called as chemical properties. For suppose if you just see, take the paper, burn it, paper will be converted to paper ash, right? So in that case, if you observe that composition changes, paper has become paper ash. For suppose if I take magnesium ribbon that used to, definitely you will be using crackers during Diwali time. Okay, you will burn the magnesium ribbon like a wire, magnesium rope. That magnesium, if you burn in the presence of oxygen, it will be converted into magnesium oxide. So magnesium has become magnesium oxide, means chemical composition has been changed. So if you measure any property or observe any property by changing the chemical composition, those properties are called chemical properties. Combustibility, basicity also an example. Basicity we will be talking about it in the forthcoming sessions, so don't worry about it. So properties of the matter, when you talk about it, properties of the matter which can be measured or observed by changing the chemical composition is chemical property. Without changing the chemical composition is nothing but physical property, in a brief. Understood the point, guys? Is it clear? Right? Multiple choice questions. You can answer it. There is a question given. Answer it. You can give the answer in the live chat. Matter is nothing but. Matter is nothing but. Options you can see it very clearly. Obviously, matter has mass and occupies some space. So both A and B are correct answers. Okay. So now I told you. So we have discussed about properties. Now we are going to talk about their measurement. Properties, we have discussed about properties physical as well as chemical. Now we will be talking about the measurement. We will be talking about the measurement, guys. Okay. Let's see, how do you measure them? Like measurement in the sense we need some units, and those units are nothing but international system of units, which are also called as SI units, guys. See, we know about two types of properties, physical and chemical properties, and those physical or chemical properties, how can you measure? So obviously with the help of certain units, and those units, we are going to give it. We have 7 fundamental quantities which are also called as base physical quantities. One is length, second one is mass, third one is time, fourth is electric current, fifth is temperature, sixth is amount of substance, seventh is luminous intensity. These quantities are called base or fundamental quantities. And length symbol is L, mass M, time T, electric current is I, you can use small letter I also, temperature T, absolute temperature should be indicated with capital letter T, amount of substance is N, that is number of moles, luminous intensity can be indicated with the help of IV. Okay. So what is the name of the SI unit? Length can be measured in meters, mass can be measured in kilogram, time can be measured in second, electric current can be measured in ampere, temperature can be measured in Kelvin, number of moles, that is amount of substance, can be measured in mole, luminous intensity can be measured in candle. And what is the symbol can be given? Meter is M only, kilogram kg, second is S, you can write SEC also, ampere A, Kelvin K, mole simply written as a MOL, candela that is CD. These are the 7 basic or fundamental quantities, guys. Understood the point? And now if you observe it, what are the definitions of these SI base units? Definitions are just for understanding. They won't ask any questions in board or in competitive regarding definitions. You don't worry about it. Okay. So about the definitions, you don't worry about it. Okay. Definitions they will never ask. So simply unit of length, as you know, meter. So it is the length of the path travelled by the light in vacuum during a time interval of 1 upon 299,792,458 of a second. So during that duration, right, during that duration, how much, okay, length of the path is travelled by the light, that can be given it as meter, right. Similarly, kilogram, quantity of the matter can be expressed. You can just go through the definitions which are there on the slide. So kilogram is the unit of mass. It is equal to the mass of international prototype of the kilogram. Similarly, unit of the time is nothing but second. Actually, this unit of time second is given by the time taken for the transitions, between the two hyperfine levels of the ground state of cesium atom. How much time it took it for the transition, for the transition between the two hyperfine levels of the ground state of cesium atom, that time is nothing but a second. Okay. Similarly, if you observe other definitions, next one is electric current, that is nothing but ampere. Okay, electric current is ampere. So ampere is nothing but how much amount of current is produced. So whenever, if you maintain these conditions like two straight parallel conductors of infinite length and negligible area of cross section and placed 1 meter apart, okay, those conductors should be placed 1 meter apart in vacuum, and how much current has been produced when you apply the this much force, right, per meter of the length, how much force, okay, if you apply this much force per meter of the length, how much current is produced, that current is nothing but ampere. So unit of electric current is ampere. And unit of thermodynamic temperature is Kelvin, that is indicated by the symbol K. So actually Kelvin is a thermodynamic temperature. It is the fraction of 1 upon 273.16 of the thermodynamic temperature of triple point of water. Triple point of water in the sense where the temperature at which, triple point means temperature at which all three physical states, solid, liquid and gas, are in equilibrium. If all these three physical states are in equilibrium at a particular temperature, that temperature should be taken it as a triple point of water at that particular, okay, temperature, right. So triple point of water means temperature at which all these three physical states must be in equilibrium. Okay. Now mole and candela will be talking about it. Unit of amount of substance is mole. Of course, there is a whole sub-chapter about mole. Mole is used to determine the amount of substance. Mole is a unit of amount of substance. For suppose if you want to measure the amount of any substance, that should be measured in mole only. Mole is the amount of substance which contains as many elementary entities as there are atoms in 0.012 kilogram of carbon 12 isotope. Its symbol is mole. So mole means any entity, atoms, molecules, ions, electrons, all the particles will come. Okay. Luminous intensity unit is candela, and it is the definition of candela that you can see, right. It is the definition of the luminous intensity. So there are 7 physical quantities which are base or fundamental quantities, and units, if you observe it, that is, one is length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, luminous intensity. But which is most important for us? Amount of substance is most important for us, guys. Right? Why? Because we will be talking about mole in detail in mole concept. Amount of substance unit is mole. Hope you understand this point, guys. These are the 7 fundamental quantities or base quantities. If you understood, please mention in the live chat S. Okay. Now, as we know the properties, physical, chemical. How can you measure those properties? By the help of SI units. Right? There are 7 7 fundamental or base quantities we can measure. We can use those quantities to measure the any property. And if you want to give the prefixes, there are some prefixes we will be going to talk about it now, which can be used in calculations, guys. These are useful in doing calculations. First one is yocto, 10 power minus 24, jepto, 10 power minus 21, atto, 10 power minus 18. Symbols you can observe it there. Femto, 10 power minus 15, right? So pico, 10 power minus 12. For suppose sometimes they will ask you like 1 picometer. 1 picometer means what you will write? 10 to the power of minus 12 meter. Understood? 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. Or 10 to the power of minus 10 centimeter. Meter is the MKS or SI unit. Centimeter is the CGS system unit. Understood the point? And nano. Nano is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 9. Okay? Multiple 10 to the power of minus 9 prefix is nano. Like 1 nanometer, Nm, is equal to 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. Or 10 to the power of minus 7 centimeter. Similarly, micro is for 10 to the power of minus 6. Milli, 10 to the power of minus 3. Means sometimes we will write 1 milligram. 1 milligram is equal to 10 to the power of minus 3 grams. 1 microgram is equal to 10 to the power of minus 6 grams. Such a way we will write it. Understood the point, guys? Is it clear for you? Right? Okay, let's see the few more other physical prefixes, sorry, not physical, prefixes, scientific prefixes. See, these are few more, you can just check it. Negative exponents are almost over, now positive exponents. The 10 to the power of minus 2, it's nothing but centi, like you can say 1 centimeter, right? 1 centimeter means okay, but 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, right? Deci, right? 10 to the power of minus 1, deci, deci means 10 to the power of minus 1. We will be using this deci and centi frequently, right? Milli, for actually for chemical calculations in the sense like moles, millimoles, decimoles, okay, we will be using. So 1 deca, it is 10 to the power of 1, hecto, 10 to the power of 2, kilo, 10 to the power of 3, like 1 kilogram. Kilo is 10 to the power of 3, so 1 kilogram is nothing but 10 to the power of 3 gram. 10 to the power of 6, it is mega. 10 to the power of 9, giga. So sometimes we will say 1 GB, 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte is nothing but 10 to the power of 9 bytes. 1 tera, right? 10 to the power of 12. Okay. So similarly, you can use few more: peta, hexa, zeta, iota. Peta is 10 to the power of 15, hexa is 10 to the power of 18, zeta is 10 to the power of 21, iota is 10 to the power of 24. Right? Those are the prefixes can be used. All these prefixes will be useful for you while you are doing chemical calculations. Understood the point, guys? Right? Let's solve MCQs. Yeah. What is the triple point of water? What is the triple point of water? I have been displayed answer. The triple point of water is nothing but the temperature at which all the 3 physical states like solid, liquid and gas, all those are in equilibrium, right? That is nothing but triple point of water, that is equal to 1 upon 273.16 degree Celsius. Solve this at least. Post your answer in the live chat. Post your answer in live chat. What is the unit for luminous intensity? Luminous intensity is candela. What is the symbol? CD. Are you following, guys? Right? What is the unit for luminous intensity means what you will say? Luminous intensity is candela. What is the symbol for electric current? What is the symbol for electric current? Actually, that was covered image. Electric current symbol is nothing but I. Electric current symbol is I. Unit is ampere. Okay. So now we will be talking about these physical quantities in detail, like mass, weight, volume, density, and temperature. Right? So let's talk about mass first. Mass and weight. Simply, mass is nothing but the quantity of the substance or the quantity of the matter. In another way, mass of a substance is nothing but it is quantity of matter. Quantity of matter present in it. That is nothing but mass. But weight is nothing but force exerted by gravity on an object. Weight is a gravitational force. It is acted on an object. Right? But mass is always fixed, guys. Mass is always fixed. It won't vary. But weight may vary from one place to another place due to the change of gravity. Gravity changes. Right? So that you can observe it here. Mass and weight, two quantities. Mass is fixed quantity, weight is variable quantity. Okay. And SI unit of mass is kg. There you can observe it. Moon. When you go to the moon, right? So it will become 1 by 6 of the g. 1 by 6 of the g, that is acceleration due to gravity changes. Yes or no, guys? The SI unit of the mass is kg. 1 kg will be equal to 1000 gram. That you can write it as 10 to the power of 3 grams. 1 kg is equal to 10 to the power of 3 grams. Even weight unit is Newton, that you know. I will be writing here. Weight unit is Newton. Okay. Now volume. Volume is nothing but it is a space occupied by the substance. Volume is nothing but space occupied by substance. Space occupied by substance is nothing but volume. And volume has the units of length cube. Why? Because that volume can be taken it as length into breadth into height. So in SI system, volume has units of meter cube. Why? Because length is in meter, breadth is in meter, height is also in meter. Multiply all those three quantities, it will give meter cube. Right? So smaller volumes are there which can be denoted in centimeter cube or decimeter cube. So centimeter cube, I am writing here, cm cube, also known as cc. cc is nothing but centimeter cube or cubic centimeter, sorry, cubic centimeter, right? A common unit we have liter, but which is not an SI unit. It is also used for measuring volume of liquids or gases. Volume of liquids or gases can be measured in liters, and the smaller volumes are denoted in centimeter cube or dm cube. What is dm cube? dm cube is nothing but decimeter cube. dm cube is nothing but decimeter cube, right? So conversion, you can just observe it on the screen. 1 liter is equal to 1 dm cube, which is in turn equal to 1000 ml, which is in turn equal to 1000 centimeter cube. See, 1 ml is nothing but 1 centimeter cube or 1 cc. 1 cc is equal to 1 ml. Means if I take 1000 ml means 1000 cc. 1000 cc is equal to 1000 ml or 1 liter, or you can take 1 dm cube. These conversions are very important in dimensional analysis. We will be discussing about dimensional analysis. So under those dimensional analysis, these conversions are very useful for us, right? Now the next, which is well known and familiar to you guys. Hope you are following or not, right? So if you are following, say yes in live chat. Density, it is a ratio of mass upon volume, which can be given it as d is equal to m upon v. D is equal to m upon v, sorry. So it is a substance, density of a substance, its amount of mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume is nothing but density. SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. Why? Because if you observe, in numerator mass is there, so which can be measured in kg, volume can be measured in meter cube, so I can write it as kg per meter cube. The same, send it to the numerator, so I can write it as kg into meter raised to minus 3. Density also expressed in gram per centimeter cube, gram per centimeter cube, or I can write it as gram centimeter raised to minus 3, or I can write it as gram per cc. Cc is nothing but cubic centimeter. Okay. And temperature. So temperature is nothing but, it is a measure. It is a measure of intensity of heat. It is a measure of intensity of heat. So simply, a degree of hotness of a body or degree of coldness of a body can be measured with the help of temperature. Temperature and heat both are not same. Heat is a form of energy, whereas temperature is not a form of energy. Heat can be transferred from one form to another form as it is form of energy, but temperature is not a form of energy. Understood the point, guys? So it is a measure of the intensity of heat. Generally, we will use three common scales. One is degree Celsius scale, one is degree Fahrenheit scale, and another one is Kelvin. But in our chemistry calculations, we will be using Kelvin scale, not other scales, okay, are less prominent. Kelvin scale, okay, in most of the case Kelvin and degree Celsius scales can be used, but not degree Fahrenheit. But conversions, if you observe it, how do you relate degree Fahrenheit to the degree Celsius? If you want to convert degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius, this is very useful. So that is degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 degree Celsius plus 32. If they have given degree Celsius and if you want to convert into degree Fahrenheit, then you have to use this formula. Understood the point, guys? For suppose if you want to relate the Kelvin scale and Celsius scale, Kelvin scale and Celsius scale can be given as Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273.15. This is a thermodynamic scale of temperature. That value is, this is thermodynamic scale of temperature. This value is absolute temperature value. Absolute temperature value. For suppose if they ask you to express 25 degrees Celsius in Kelvin, then what I'll write it, K is equal to degree Celsius value 25 plus 273.15. Then what I'll get it, 298.15. This is the Kelvin value. We have converted degree Celsius into Kelvin. But most of the time, for our simplification, for our calculation, for our convenience, 273.15 can be used approximately as 273 for simplifications. Okay, for simplified calculations, 273.15 can be used as 273. In most of the calculations, we will use 273 only. Okay. Now, try to solve this question. What is the unit for luminous intensity? Just post it in the live chat. I am waiting for your answer. What is the unit for luminous intensity? You have to post it in the live chat. I am displaying the answer. Yes, candela is the correct answer. Luminous intensity unit is candela. Good question. 1 liter is equal to, 1 liter is equal to, hope you can answer this easily. Post it in the live chat. Please post it in live chat. 1 liter will be equal to 1000 ml, 1000 centimeter cube, 1 dm cube, or all. All these are correct. Right? 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter, 1000 cc is equal to 1 liter, 1 dm cube is also equal to 1 liter. Which is correct statement? This is plus 32, I think so. This is plus 32. Obviously, F is equal to Fahrenheit will be related to 9 by 5 degrees Celsius plus 32. This is the conversion can be given between degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. Okay, that's all for today's session, guys. Right? So in next session we will be continuing with the remaining topics. If you like the video, please click on the like button. And if you have any doubts, post it in the comment box. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And please share it to your friends about this Aspire batch. It will be useful for them. Full course will be uploaded in the YouTube. Okay. So until then, take care. Bye bye.